Dangers are not always entering into war, or crossing a street, or traveling down a superhighway at super speeds. Sometimes they're far more invisible, most insidious. One of the dangers is pointed out in this week's Sidra, the beginning of the book of Exodus, where we start reading, these are the names of the Jews that went down to Egypt. Went down to Egypt is actually Habaim, which is not past tense at all, but rather present tense, that are coming to Egypt. And it makes no sense, because if we're dealing with a historical narrative about how the Jews, the sons of Jacob, ended up in Egypt, it is past tense, it's not present tense at all. Not lost on many of the expositors who look at the text. They say, that's because it happens to everyone. Every person will make the journey to Egypt, with or without their permission. They will end up in a place that is unfamiliar territory and dangerous to their body and to their soul. And so it is with Joseph. At the end of last week's Sidra, where we learned and read that he had two names. Joseph, the name given to him by his parents, and Spanat Paneach, the name given to him by the mighty Pharaoh. It would have been so easy for Joseph to forget that he was Joseph. In fact, we might even argue that he would want to forget that he was Joseph. The impoverished farmer from Canaan now has become the rich city boy who is second in command to the mightiest man living on earth. Why wouldn't he want to forget? Why wouldn't he want to dismiss all of the terrible nightmarish memories that had happened to him when he was a youth and simply say, I'm no longer Joseph. I never was him. I'm somebody new. This is who I am, my new identity. That is the journey to Egypt. The journey to Egypt is the one that we undertake all of the time. It is the tension between past and present. And given that so much of modernity is consumed with what is happening right now, we want to try to fight off the pains of the past and present. We want to say instead, it's only what's happening now. There is no future, there is no past, there is only right now. So much of our society is consumed with simply that principle being ensconced inside of the soul. But maybe it's not correct, because if we forget the past, we have no key to the present. We don't know who we are. Joseph remembered that he was Joseph, even when he went down to Egypt. Even when we go down to Egypt, we need to remember who we are and where we came from. Only there, and only with that key, lies the ultimate redemption. Knowing our inside name and our outside name, and knowing that we can never truly jettison our past, or we forfeit our future.